What's up, guys? It's Jam1 from Jam1TCG coming at you guys with another totally awesome video. And today we're going to be, that's right, discussing the ban list. That's right, you see the title. We're also going to be discussing what the state of the format is. Will we even get a ban list? Who knows? But we're going to find out. So stay tuned and let's get to it. All right, guys. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm recording this right after two big weekend tournaments just finished. The PPG, the number 6 weekend championship, just finished, and we saw a lot of interesting things in that. We also, this is right after the LCS just finished, number 3. So we got a lot of things to talk about. We all know that the state of the format basically is what people call a 2-deck format, that being the Golden Lure right there, and then Emancipators, like dot deck, because there's so many versions of it. And then, the rock deck, as people like to call it. There's a lot of different ones. So we're just going to kind of talk about, will we get a ban list? And I want you guys to, in the comment sections below, talk with me. Tell me, what do you think should be on this ban list if we get one? Because there's definitely some things going on in the game that just need to be done. But these are going to be my predictions, along with what a lot of people have been saying in the community. And then we're just going to just talk about the state of the game as well. So coming crazily, we saw Sky Striker. That's right. Sky Striker just won the LCS. Isn't that crazy? It's 2020, guys. And we thought that with Sky Striker losing their engage, that there was no way that they could actually be playable. But as I mentioned, shout out to Ray. He actually, part of Team RIW, this was his deck. And he talked about, like, the deck isn't dead. It just needs the right time to come back into the format. So he was right. And yeah, like, this might be the time, because it seems that watching the finals, it was a perfect counter against the Emancipator deck. And then, yeah, the other big surprise, we had Salamangreat. That's right, in the PPG, just randomly taking second place out of nowhere. Like, that's crazy. Like, a lot of people have been talking about how Salad has been on people's radars anyways, but, like, we saw it, like, have this true potential, just doing some crazy stuff. That being, they can just literally just OTK you with Update Jammer into Transcode Talker. Like, I mean, not Transcode Talker, that's the old one. They're on Access Code Talker now, which that card is insane. Like, man, we're actually going to bring that card up right now because that card is crazy. If it wants to pop up, there it is. Not there. There it is. Access Code Talker. Yeah, that's their new, like, WinCon boss guy. Like, it's crazy how powerful that card is. Transcode Talker right there. That's the one I was talking about. But yeah, it's possible. Like, honestly, like, these decks are insanely strong. But, like, the real oppression of this format lies in these guys right here, though. Eldritch and the Emancipators are just doing too much. So we're going to see, most likely, if they choose to get us a ban list, because we don't know if we're going to get one or not. But if they do, these cards, these decks are going to get hit in some kind of way. I don't think they're going to hit any of the actual main deck engine cards. I could be wrong. But the reality is that something needs to be done. Starting off with, let's go to our first ban list prediction right here. I think this has to go. The Buster Lock, as people are calling it, Buster Whoop, this is one of the names that people were calling this thing before, but this is the Dragon Buster Sword, Destruction Sword. It's a part of, believe it or not, Yugi's iconic, one of his ace monster, Buster Bladers, right? But they use it to basically lock you out of the game with Union Carrier down there. We'll talk about Union Carrier in a second as well. And that's the thing. So let's be real here. Before we even get to all of that, I'm just going to say that we see that needle fiber, honestly, is the biggest problem of all. Like, if you guys don't know, I've been commentating the PPG. Let me know what you guys think about that, by the way. I've been super nervous, and it's been a pleasure to do, but, like, there's, like, a lot of things that I can probably improve on. But yeah, I've been commentating and watching, and I've been seeing a lot of these pro players doing a lot of things. This card is definitely the problem and the poster child of the format. However, I do not think I put it on here because it would be awesome if they hit it, but Konami's probably not going to hit this, guys. It just came out. We waited so long for this card. I think they're going to give it the Firewall Dragon treatment and just hit everything around it, which a lot of people have been saying. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not, but I think they're going to hit things around it and not exactly it. And that's what brings me to this argument of the Union Carrier. yes, Union Carrier and Halqifibrax, Needle Fiber, whatever you want to call them, they're both ban-worthy cards, but I don't believe they're going to touch them just yet. They will in the future, but probably not just yet. So they're going to hit the things around it. And the most broken thing you can do with Union Carrier is definitely this. Like, just locking your opponent out of the game, their extra deck. Like, you guys don't know this effect. When it's equipped to anything, they can't special summon. So yeah, that's crazy. And as you guys know, and you follow me, I've said this many times. The best way to play Yu-Gi-Oh is to not let your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh. This card and a lot of cards on the ban list have this in common, and this is why I think that they're going to hit this. Let me know what you guys think. The next one, we just mentioned about Halqifibrax. It's all connected, guys. See, we just mentioned this, right? So the tuners, the main opposer tutors around this is just Synchron and Olion. Like, they just have too much recursion. It takes like almost 3 hand traps just to stop this combo alone. And just Synchron alone is a 1 card, like, crazy board with all of these Omni-negates. That's stupid, right? Like, it makes totally no sense at all. So I think the fairest route, if they're not going to ban the new poster child just yet, they're going to probably hit his buddies. And these are like the most 2 likely that they would go for. The problem is, though, and let me know in the comments what you guys think, but everybody's like, okay, yeah, they banned these. There's just going to be another one that's going to rise up in his place. And probably, but for now, these are like the most opposers. Like the fact that when this is in the graveyard, just Synchron, you can literally bring it back by discarding anything. And then this one right here, literally when it leaves the field, like, you get a copy of itself in a token, which leads us to other things like token generators. You're going to see down here, I also have a Rorodon. He's another opposer of this whole combo. Like, literally, it's like pieces and bits and pieces that make this insanely disgusting board. And they're on a lot of stuff, but I think Auroradon is a big candidate as well, because let's be real here, token generators are busted. And is it just me, or is it a lot of the Mecha Phantom cards are also pretty busted? Anybody remember Draco Sack? Yeah, right? So here's my biggest problem here with this card is it's what facilitates it. You know, you go to board cave blocker and then this and then you keep going. Well, the fact that people are playing Token Collector now just to stop these things, like, that's a problem. I would put Link Cross on here as well, but I didn't because I think it follows the same thing as these two right here, that they're just so new that there's no way that they want to hit them as soon as they just came out. It doesn't make too much sense just yet. We need to see how the format develops, which, as I've been saying through the PPG, as you guys have heard me, I think this format is diverse in the sense that anybody can play a lot of things and find out something. Like we saw that it being Ray coming back into the format out of nowhere here, and Salad doing their thing as well. But the problem is that everybody just gravitated to these 2 decks because they're like, oh my gosh, it's so good, right? And it's like, why wouldn't I play something that can end me with like 5 draws and this guy here, which we're going to talk about him as well. So that's my biggest thing, and that's the problem with the format, is that there's a lot of potential, but because of those 2 being in the format, no one wants to try anything new, and that's sad because, guys, we got all these zones open back up now. You can play so many different things, so experiment. Which leads us to our next guy, Block Dragon. Yeah, Block Dragon is, what can I say? Add 3 to your hand. Busted. Stupid. It just makes no sense. And that's the biggest thing here, is that, like, why should you be able to add 3 cards? Like, there was no deck that it fit well in until now. It's like Emancipators just make it so powerful. And like, people say, oh, should you hit it to 1? No, because they were playing it at 1 when it first started. Then everybody just said, why not play 3? Right? It really just needs to be banned. I think it's a safe candidate because it's super old, right? And because it's so old, it gives like these newer cards, like I was mentioning, time to shine. So I think that'll be the best hit out of the deck to slow it down a little bit, but also not destroy it because it is a new deck, right? Which leads us to other things. I'm gonna come back to this one in a minute, but tuning is also a part of the problem. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of off the wall ones because everybody's been talking about these other ones, but I'm just hypothetically injecting these ideas into you guys' mind here. But look, tuning is one of those older cards, right? That fits in the same category as Block Dragon. It's super old, has certain application, but now you found the right application and it's great and broken and busted. Tuning is very old, but not only is it old, it's has the old problem thing that a lot of cards do, which is not being once per turn, because that wasn't a thing back then, right? So talking on 5D's format, like when synchros first became a thing, not once per turn is busted. Like watching a PPG, there was so many times where somebody was like, okay, activate tuning. And then they're like, okay, Ash. And then it's just like, okay, well, fine, I'm gonna activate another tuning because it's not once per turn. So I think we might see this card limited, like maybe to 1. I think that would be actually kind of fair if they limited it. But then you can also make the argument that without just synchron, then why would we even have this? We'll see. I mean, it's just an idea. Remember, these are just my opinions and based off of what I've been seeing as I've been observing and watching the game lately. So I wanted this to be a discussion, guys. Please chime in below. Next, we're going to talk about here Mystic Mind. So the Jeff Leonard card, the everybody that card. When this card first came out, guys, I remember, if you guys don't remember, I did a pack opening, a booster structure opening. I said, when I first read this, I was like, this card is stupid. Someone's going to break it. Yeah, so we've had this card for almost like 2 years now, maybe like a year and a half. But yeah, it's stupid. Like, we know that Mystic Mind is busted. Just again, it falls under the trap of what I mentioned before that makes a card busted in the general. And that's why a lot of cards on the ban list have in common. You cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! The best way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not to let your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh! This card is one of those things. You guys even see me using this card in my watch the videos of me taking on CMOS Crush Cup. Yeah, I made this card put in a lot of work. Now, the argument here, though, is that this card is great, but as we saw in the beginning of this format, this online format, when Eldritch became a thing, people were maining like Cosmic Cyclones and things like that, right? Well, when Cosmic Cyclone became a thing, it literally made this card invalid. Like, people had the outs to it. And that's one of the biggest things why there's this dichotomy of, do you ban this card because it is pretty stupid, or do you just leave it? Because to be honest, it's not that good once people actually have the removal for it. The only reason it's good is when people are too cocky to not have outs to it and then they lose to it. Also, you know, if it's a deck around it, they kind of protect it, and then there's that too. But you can also make the argument that ending a game board with all of these Omni-negates like Boros Savage and VFD and all of these things, right? You can make the argument that maybe Mystic Mind is fair to give decks that cannot just like out these boards amazingly an option to fight back. So I'm kind of on the fence. I think 2 things could happen to it if they do touch it at all. It will either get banned straight out, or it will get limited to 1. I think that's like the 2 biggest things that they could do if they actually decide to touch this. But I'm actually not going to say I'm in favor for leaving it at 3, but there's an argument that can be made that it can stay at 3 with the state of the game currently, right? Let me know what you think. That's a big opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think down low. So another off the wall one, because I want to get you guys some off the wall ones that maybe people aren't thinking about. Red pointy finger guy. You know, like maybe he needs to go. It's fair because it's a trap and you do have to pay 2,000. But the reality is a card like Trap dustshoot. Let me bring that up actually. Trap. But this old, super old card that used to be actually a thing. Here it is right here. It's banned, right? Trap dustshoot. That card is stupid. And this is basically similar. You can make the argument that yes, with Trap dustshoot, they never get it back. But like it does pretty much the same thing. You get to see your opponent's hand, which is why the card has been seeing so much extra play lately. Because that knowledge is so important, just knowing what they can do. So you can be like, okay, I'm just gonna play this and this and this, and okay, I know not to activate this. But then like ripping it out their hand is also kind of like unfair because they're starting the game off with less cards. So a lot of people just been siding this and then just ripping it out. And yeah, let me know what you think. I think this is like a good candidate for possible just straight up ban. It falls under the similar category as a card like Trap dustshoot. So we might see it hit the ban list. Never know. Another thing that's a little bit interesting, I thought maybe we talk about, oops, not Nibiru. Yeah, sorry. This one, Mona Glacia, the Elemental Lord Mona Glacia. So thing about this card is this again falls under that same pattern of not letting your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh. You get to rip 2 cards. If you guys don't know what it does, there's this effect right there. But you get to rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. Decks that can actually play this deck, like Water Dot decks, this is kind of unfair because your opponent basically starts the game off just like Trap Dustshoot, just like a Pointer to Red Lotus, with less cards in their hand that they need to actually be able to do something, which playing in this format is crazy because as we just talked about all of these Omni-negate boards, like how do you break a board with only 3 cards? Or 4 cards, whatever. Like it's really difficult, right? So this is an argument that maybe this card could be banned. We also saw that the Elemental Earth Lord was on the ban list a while ago, I believe. So it came off, I think, but still. In the decks that can abuse these cards, it might be like something that needs to just go. This is something that most people haven't thought about or talked about, so I thought I'd bring it up. Let me know what you guys think below. The next thing that we're going to talk about is going back to like what is the real problems here with all of these Omni-negates. We're going to talk about these 2 cards right here, that being Herald Arclight and Borlo Savage. Again, this is a little off the wall. No one's saying this, but I think that is worth thinking about, right? So Herald, basically, it's got a macrocosmos-like effect, which banishes everything, almost everything. It's not completely macrocosmos, but pretty much the cards that matter get banished from this. And it has an Omni-negate, meaning it can negate 3 cards, right? It's Spell or Trap or Monster Effect. And that's pretty good. And now with all of the synchro stuff going around with our poster child here of the format, we basically are in this weird predicament where this card is so free. And a lot of people have just decided to play it. No one played it before because there was no real opportunity to make awkward things like this because it has 4 stars. But now it's so easy with the help of cards like Auroradon and Metal Marcher and things like that. So it's an argument that can be said that maybe in Link Cross 2, maybe that we can just get rid of it because it is kind of awkward. Also, another spicy thing that most people didn't know, guys, look, it has another effect here at the bottom where you get to add a ritual card to your hand, which I've seen some people actually doing. It's not as big, like widespread, like big brain plays, but it is something that's like to note because there are a lot of broken ritual cards. Remember, Necros ran Rapid for like a whole format, right? So yeah, just something to think about. Borlo Savage will be around the same thing and the same reason why I'm saying what I was saying about this. It's never been this easy to make. I think I said this on camera during one of the live streams of the PPG. This is ridiculous. Like, just to be able to like free 8, this is like one of the most generic 8s, but with the synergy that it has with these newer cards, is free. I remember if you guys watched one of my vlogs in Columbus a long time ago when this like when the set was about to drop, I said this on camera and I said, hey, this card is like powerful. This is probably one of the cards that people are looking forward to in the next set, but it wasn't the time for it back then. Because back then there was no easy way to just have Link materials in your graveyard to just equip to it as an equip card and get those world counters that it gets. But now it's just so free that it's like maybe, possibly, we can consider it just being straight up banned. There's a lot of synchro cards that are banned, and this would be kind of ban worthy in a way when it's this free to summon. That's my argument. Again, let me know below. These are all just my opinions based off of what I've been able to see in the last like couple weeks and months of competitive play. So I don't want to hear nobody in the comments like, la, 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 he's stupid. La, la. Opinions. I want to hear yours, okay? So let me know what you guys think about that. And next 2 that we're going to discuss right here, a little off the wall, Abyss Dweller and VFD or King of Calamities, all calamities, whatever you want to call them. These 2 cards have 2 things in common, and this is why I chose them as my predictions. One thing that is that Abyss Dweller has been so generic. Now I hear this in the comments already. Jam, they're not gonna ban this. It just got the OT. Like they're putting it in an OTS pack. They're not gonna ban it. Again, this is just my opinion based off of the trends that I've seen. Maybe we can see it in the future being banned. But yeah, it's possible that they won't, just like similar to what I've been saying about like the poster child here. He just came out, so why would they? If they're gonna make a new printing of it, maybe they won't. Who knows? But this is why I say both of these. King of Calamities most definitely probably are gonna like that's almost like no question here. I think it's definitely gonna get hit. Like this card is stupid. So okay, back to both of these though, right? What they have in common. They both have lingering effects that as long as quick effects that become lingering effects. So quick effect, you can shotgun it at spell speed 2 anytime you want, right? And then lingering that once it's gone, like it's active, it stays on the whole field, blanketing the whole field for an entire turn. Ridiculous. Like, unless you have an answer right then and there, there's no way. Even if you like try to imperm them before, like they can quick shotgun it and then boom, it's still active. So, and it falls under the category of what I've said before, guys. These cards don't let your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh! And what did I say before? The best way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to not let your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh! So these two cards have that in common. If you guys don't know, they're both on the screen, but this one stops all graveyard effects like until the end of the turn. And then King of Calamities basically stops monster effects like in your possession, which is stupid. If you don't know like the definition of possession, it means like cards that you control. That means your extra deck, your graveyard, your hand. As long as you own that card physically in life, you cannot use it as the player. That's stupid. I've seen people like call light to stop Nibiru and then do combos. And I've also seen people like literally just, hey, you're playing a water deck? All right. Mike, as soon as your turn starts, I'm going to shotgun it right now, call water. All your effects are done. No even hand effects works. It's pretty busted. And it's so free now with similar patterns to these cards right here. Is so free with these combos that we're seeing people come up with our poster child here. So that's kind of the logic of why I think those two could possibly see some hit, either not now, maybe they won't choose to do it now, but definitely in the future, I can see them being ban-worthy cards. And Abyss Dweller has been out for a really long time. It's like probably one of the best rank 4s in the game, if you ask me. And non-arguably, we'll say that King of Calamities is probably one of the best like best exceeds monsters out of the entire game, especially if we're gonna say level 9, definitely. But we all know that Totally Awesome here is a little bit better than him. We're gonna talk about Toad too, so stay tuned. But yeah, next, back to some other things. So we talked about pretty much a lot of these. Another argument that I've been hearing and seeing, cards like this, these two cards, I call them the equalizers because they basically do what I just said. They equalize the turn for you when sorry, my headphones are a little falling off of my head. But yeah, so they equalize the turn, right? Like Dark Ruler literally just says, "Hey, negate all these effects, and you can't respond to it." Like a spell speed 4, as people call it. Like you just can't respond to it. That's stupid. And then like Nibiru, we all know, like smashy smashy rock. Your opponent summons 5 monsters, boom, blow up their whole field, and then you give them a token. The argument I've been hearing, which I don't really completely agree with, again, these are just like I just want to get people talking and thinking the argument has been that these cards are like so impactfully powerful that they need to be like limited a little bit. Maybe go to 2 semi-limited or go to 1 because it's not fair for the combo players to get stopped by a couple cards. And my argument to that is, guys, these cards are fair, just like Evenly Matched. I believe Evenly Matched is another fair equalizer card because it basically gives you a chance to still play the game when you clearly lost, right? This is why I think they're fair. I don't think they're going to touch these, but I've been hearing people talk about it and say that they should. And I was just like, I don't know, but I'm still going to talk about it anyways. The other thing that I've been hearing is this Maxx C. So, oh boy, comments about to go crazy. I already know. Like Maxx C is crazy. We already know. If you grew up playing the game when Maxx C was around, this card is such a crazy thing. But in my opinion, I don't know. I think there's a fair argument that can be made that it could come back into the game because OCG has it, right? In Japan and the Asian countries, they have this card. And we don't see like crazy stuff happening like this. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't follow the OCG like religiously like some people do. But I know that they don't have like, Rock.deck doing craziest things as it can. Because Maxx C was like, basically, you take the Maxx C challenge. You throw it down when your opponent starts going crazy. And you're like, stop it or I will flame you next turn. And that was why this card seen so much play. It's like, in my opinion, I did a video. I don't know if I posted it or not yet, but it was like, what was my favorite hand trap? I think Maxx C was definitely one of my favorite hand traps of all times because of that, like, equalizing factor. It's like, but here's my thing. It's banned right now. It was at 1 once. I think if it comes back, it has to be back at 3, okay? Not 1, not 2, it has to be either 0 or 3 because it's unfair when it's a 1 of and you just basically relying on luck to draw it and then whoever drew Maxx C won. When it was at 3, the game was a little bit more balanced. Like it was literally like, because I played back then, it was like, okay, and then zoo format, I believe, too, before, like, that was, like, right before it got banned. But, like, it was fair. It was like, okay, you want to pop off? No, stop. Okay, fine, my turn. You want to pop off? I got it, too. You know, each player always had it seemed. And then now the argument can also be made that we have cards in the game like Ash, like Call by the Grave. Like, there's a lot of things that can actually just negate the card and not even make it as powerful. So I think it may have been power creep. We'll have to see. It's something that people have been speculating. Not gonna lie to you guys, I've held on to my Maxx Cs. Like, I have a play set of them because I anticipate that one day it will come off the ban list. And remember, guys, if you guys want any cards, by all means, use the link below to CCG Player to get cards. But yeah, Maxx C is one of those that I think may come back. And there's a fair argument for both sides. Please let me know what you guys think down below. And that's gonna lead us to these two cards that were wrongly done badly by the ban list. That being ABC Buster Dragon and our boy, the channel mascot, Totally Awesome. So I can rant an hour about why Toad shouldn't be banned, but let's talk about Buster first. So ABC, I've been saying it for a while that that deck is actually super powerful and busted, and a lot of people didn't know that. But to be honest, I think it would be fun to see it come back because it was one of another best structured decks that came out, and we got a lot of decks doing a lot more unfair things than this. And that's my biggest argument between both of these two cards is that Konami, we are looking here, and you're seeing. I know that you guys are paying attention to like these stupid inboards that are just like ridiculous to play around. ABC, there is an argument to be said that there's cards like System Shutdown that will just literally just end the deck. Like, it's fair. Like, I think that we should have got a chance to play these cards to see if they were busted. I know that we were like so scared, but there's so much other things happening. People call it degenerate. There's a lot of those type of things happening right now that this would be fair. And the same argument can be made for Toad. What has Toad done? Tell me that. Like, I just want anybody, tell me. And don't give me that bull crap about, oh, the Bahama Shark is pretty powerful. No, it's not. It's okay. It's literally okay. Bahama Shark is nothing compared to the fields that we've seen. And then that's the case, just ban Bahama Shark. And those of you that don't know what Bahama Shark is, let's see if I can like search it for you real quick while I keep ranting. But like, don't punish Toad for the sins of this card. Like, that's not fair at all. Like, seriously, people argue, oh, you can bring them out for free, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no. Like, seriously, Toad did nothing wrong. When's the last time you've seen frogs do anything? Like, I am the Frog Master, and I will even say that, like, I love them, but they're not the best deck in the world. I just know a lot about them, and that's why I see success with them. But them by themselves, they aren't strong enough. And Paleo right now took such a hit. Don't get me wrong, watch CMO's Crush Cup on my channel. I did do pretty well with one Toad, but it was a struggle. And it's why I'm thinking about maybe switching to some type of other type of deck with Paleo. I mean, with frogs and not Paleo, because it's been a little bit difficult. We'll see. That's another discussion for another video. But Totally Awesome did nothing wrong. He's fair. And if we can end the board with all of these type of cards and that's like fair, then why can't Toad come back? Because Toad literally is only powerful in its original deck. Like, and even still, like, why put him to 1? Can we at least get him to 2? I think him coming back to 2 would be at least fair. Same can be said for ABC Buster. Bring them to 2, semi-limit them, and that'll be actually fair if you're that scared of them. Maybe 3 might be too much. We don't know. We never got to even see because guess what? You guys just decided to ban him so fast. And, like, Toad did nothing wrong. Please free my boy Toad. But yeah, so if you guys want to hear another ban list take, make sure you guys check out my new friend and a YouTuber from the UK, the EU. His name is Dell. He runs Zephyr War Gaming's YouTube. He's the voice that you guys hear next to me, my co-commentator on the PPG streams. And he's got a pretty successful channel as well. He does a podcast, and it's called During the End Phase Podcast. You guys can find it on Shopify, the Apple Store, all of those places where you can like listen to podcasts. Make sure you guys drop him a sub and give him some love because I come on his channel as a guest in the podcast and we talk about the ban list a little bit. His is set to air on the 29th of May. So make sure you guys check out that episode because I'm a part of that episode and you totally don't want to miss that. As well as, like I said, if you guys need cards below, make sure you guys definitely let me know what you want to see on the ban list, what you think should be banned, and then use the TCG player link below if you guys want to start getting ahead of buying things when the ban list does come out. All right, guys, make sure you click another video, watch another video. There should be a couple on the screen. I don't know where they are. They might be here, they might be there, but make sure you guys watch another video. See you soon.